You are listening to the We Are Not Safe for Work podcast. Your hosts, Renee and Nadja, will dive into all the different reasons why some entrepreneurs become unemployable.
I see us on there. We are live. Oh, woohoo.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. This was an unintended. We will go back to our current theme of what we had today on another time, which is
back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yes. Time has no meaning. We are doing a new format, but it hasn't been released yet. So this doesn't make sense in context yet.
Oh, it will
I just
eventually.
realized. Yeah, that's true. So, okay. Do you have a link where I could share this on Facebook? Or should I just go to
yes, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
And then I'll put it in the in our chat.
Perfect.
So that you can share it.
So while she's doing that, while everybody understands why we're here today and doing it live, is that OpenAI just released a blog post today, just a little bit ago, called AI Progress and Recommendations. AI, the subheading is AI is unlocking new knowledge and capabilities. Our responsibility, as in theirs, OpenAI's, is to guide that power toward broad, lasting benefit. And at first, when I read this, when I first read this, I thought nothing new here to see, right? But I realized that my perspective on it is that way because we are constantly looking at this. We're constantly talking about this. My favorite topic is the future of work. So, of course, when I read this, I was like, duh. But honestly, they're not making enough public statements on this as a general rule. So I think it's actually a bigger deal than I'm giving it credit to. Okay, I'm going to take this link and copy it real quick.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, Nadja, if you've had a chance to read this at all yet, because I literally just sent it to you.
Skimmed it, and that was it. I didn't really read it. You said that you read this morning, or it was a...
No, I just read it. I read it, and I have also only completely skimmed it.
Oh, okay.
But I read it and immediately sent it to you because I got it like 10 minutes before we were supposed to come on to record.
Yeah.
So I want to add something to this before we go too far into discussing and reading this article together. Are you aware? Do you know who Michael Burry is?
No clue. Doesn't even ring a
bell. Michael Burry is the guy that did The Big Short. So hold on.
Oh,
do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm just going to Google him real quick so that I get this right. So he's the guy that did the Big Short movie. If you ever watched that, a lot of people would say that he is the gentleman that is responsible for the 2008 financial crisis. I don't agree with that, but I mean, I will say I don't agree with that. But at the same time, I don't know about you, how much you talk about this, but Andy and I definitely will have random conversations about that topic and go back and forth ourselves of like, maybe he is the reason. Because if he hadn't done this, would we all just have kept living in this happy little bubble? I don't know. Right? But regardless, you know who he is.
Yes. Well, now I know who he is.
Okay, great. Do you have any thoughts on any of that before I go on to the next part? A lot about him in the 2008.
I mean, I watched the movie and I remember thinking that was insane. The way that everything it basically, like, you watch it and then you just kind of get that impression that like life is a scam, like, or the financial sector, like everything regarding finances, it's all a scam. It's all a scam. It's make believe, and it all hinges on people's whims.
Well, that's why I know we've talked about this before. I love watching CNBC, not the channel just because I don't have cable, but the website. Because to me, I like to go see how rich people are gambling,
Yeah,
right? Because that's all it is. Well, I bring this up because Michael Burry, it was just announced, I think yesterday, that Michael Burry did another big short, his next big short, but it's
great.
on AI.
Okay.
So he is betting against AI stocks.
Against it?
Yes, against AI stocks.
Okay.
So against NVIDIA, he's betting against, let's see, NVIDIA, Palantir, and other AI, which is wild because NVIDIA is basically, these are right now, as best as I understand it, these are the stocks that are actually propping up the stock market and making it look so powerful are
Yeah.
like these top 5 big stocks, which
Right.
include mostly AI.
By the way, I think it's interesting to hear you say NVIDIA because I've always heard it as NVIDIA.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like, do I know it wrong?
no, I probably completely wrong, and I'm terrible at saying words. So I don't. It's like I didn't learn how to sound words out when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And so as adult, I still don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think it's really interesting that Michael Burry is shorting AI with $1 billion, by the way.
Mhm.
$1 billion short.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind as we go through this.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I should share my screen. There we go. Okay, so here's the article. I also just think it's interesting, by the way, as a blogger, that their blog post featured image is just like a gradient image.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just not sure why. It's like they could do anything. They literally have
Yeah.
the machine that makes images.
Yeah.
And this is what they chose. Why do you think that is?
Um, because it's all about coming to your own conclusions about
Damn, that's good. Am I allowed to
like
say damn on the live?
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
it's coming to your own conclusions, your own perspective. And so putting something abstract like that, like you take away what you will from it.
I love that. I love that. That's why you're the smart one.
That's not true. I appreciate it, but that's very wrong.
Okay. So we'll skim through this. I won't read this out loud to everyone, but let's just kind of hit some highlights because this is the opening paragraph. Let's read it.
Okay.
When the popular conception of the Turing test went whooshing by, many of us thought it was a little strange how much daily life just kept going. So, what is the Turing test? Do you know? Because I honestly don't know.
The Turing test, is that the like how
Let's Google it.
human or realistic something is?
A test for intelligence in a computer requiring that a human being should be unable to distinguish the machine from another human being by using the replies to question put to both. Okay. So, in other words,
So it's how human or realistic.
yes. Okay. So we kind of like AI writing, right? Is
Yeah.
this human or is this not human? I
Yes. Right,
know
right, right.
yesterday I was looking at a Facebook page and I sent it to Andy and I said, "Are these AI videos?" Because I just don't know anymore.
Oh
And
my
what's
gosh. Mm-hmm.
yeah, which is cool in a way, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, next next sentence. This was a milestone. People had talked about it for decades. The milestone, of course, being passing the Turing test. It felt impossibly out of reach. Then all of a sudden it felt close. And then all of a sudden we were on the other side. We got some great new products and not much about the world changed. Even though computers can now converse and think about hard problems. We could stop at this first paragraph, in my opinion, and talk for 2 hours.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's true. It's like, do you remember the Will Smith video?
Oh yeah, the crazy
Yeah.
spaghetti, not spaghetti.
Yeah, he was eating spaghetti.
Yeah,
I
spaghetti.
think.
Yeah,
Honestly, we don't really know what the hell he was doing. It was so bad.
but it was
But now,
very uncanny valley.
that's right.
And
But now,
thankfully, like uncanny valley, but you could tell.
right. And then have you looked at Sora 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's let's see.
There was a BBC special where they were essentially showing clips to like Gen Z or Gen Alpha, like young adults, right?
Right.
And asking them, is this real or is this AI? And these are people that are like, oh, I can tell when something's AI. Like I'm pretty good about discerning what is real and what isn't. And so they would show a clip and then they would say if it was AI or if it was real. And I was very proud of myself because like I got all of them except for one right.
Oh, yeah.
But they did not. And the one that I got
Interesting.
wrong, I was convinced it was real. Like
Really?
I played it back over and over and over again, trying to find the typical trademarks of like
Yeah.
what makes something AI, and I could not. It was so hard, and it made me realize like, oh, okay, so it's gotten that good now that I'm even questioning myself.
It's crazy. I mean, here, I'm
It
going to
is.
flip over.
It's so realistic.
I'm going to flip over to Sora. Okay. So this person, you can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this right here is my friend Marie. I follow her, so I guess it showed it up first. But dude, that looks so real. It's ridiculous.
Wait, that is not actually. Oh, wait, because this is Sora, you said.
This is Sora. Yeah. I mean, look at this baby.
Okay, well, but the baby, like you're like, okay.
Well, sure, you understand it's not real, but it looks real.
Yeah. Okay, the cereal one, the kid with the cereal.
Oh, yeah, that looks real. Oh, it's the Epstein files. That's funny.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh my God.
I'm so sorry, but
Of
that's
course, I
just
picked the
funny.
one that's.
That's hilarious. So these are not real, dude.
The road one. Go back up. The dash
This?
cam looking one. Oh,
Oh, the one with the
yeah.
explosion?
No. I did the dash cam that had the orangutan. That
Oh,
one.
yeah. Oh, ow.
But
See, I just
until
had a
like just
reaction to
that
that.
part right there, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, that looks real. And then you see that and you're like, oh,
Well, first of all, that would be terrible. But these all, I mean, look at this one, the one somebody receiving an Oscar.
mm.
This is crazy.
Okay, so I will say that because for me it's muted, I feel like there's a level of there's a level of almost instinct when you're looking at these and there's no sound. I feel like I can figure out what is and isn't real if there's no sound involved.
Really? That's interesting. I don't have the sound turned on either.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay. So we'll come back to this.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
yes.
close that. Most of the world still thinks about AI as chatbots, true. But today we have systems that can outperform the smartest humans at some of our most challenging intellectual competitions. Although AI systems are still spiky and face serious weakness, systems that can solve such hard problems seem more like 80% of the way to an AI researcher than the 20%.
Okay.
The gap between how most people are using AI and what AI is presently capable of is immense. That freaks me out. And I have been wondering about that because, I'm still on the $20 a month ChatGPT plan.
Yeah.
And I'm on the $100 a month Claude plan. And now I've done some incredible things with Claude. I mean, it blows my mind what I'm doing with like right now. I have this whole thing running with Claude right now that is completely recategorizing all of my recipes and adding tags to them because it's reading the recipe, deciding how many ingredients it has, all this stuff for 3,300 articles while we're talking right now.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? But that's just happening in the background on the same computer that I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, also, it's as if it's not even happening. Has no impact on how my machine is running.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big deal. So, okay. So, AI systems that can discover new knowledge either autonomously or by making people more effective are likely to have a significant impact on the world. That sentence is difficult to take in. It feels like blah, 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 right?
Sure.
I mean, think about it. AI
No,
systems
yeah,
that can discover new knowledge. What are you going to get me a new planet? Well, maybe, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But either autonomously or by making people more effective. So that word autonomously right there is important. It's just difficult to take it in the context of everything. And it's one of the reasons that I thought we should have this call is that word, right? By the way, I'm just yammering, so stop me at any point.
No, keep yammering.
In just a few years, AI has gone from only being able to do tasks in the realm of software engineering specifically that a person can do in a few seconds to tasks that take a person more than an hour. We expect to have systems that can do tasks that take a person days or weeks soon. We do not know how to think about systems that can take tasks that would take a person centuries. So let's break down what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right now, something that would have taken someone an hour can be done with AI in seconds, which, by the way, is exactly what we're talking about with what's happening with my spreadsheet. I'm sure it's already done.
Which that's crazy to think that it's already done.
But we can expect to have systems that can do tasks that takes a person days or weeks will soon be done in minutes as well.
Yeah.
And we don't even know how to calculate what the impact of something that would take a human their entire life. Like we've talked about this before, but I know a couple of scientists that have been working on one single thing their entire life, and they're about to retire. They're old enough that they're about to retire, and they've been working on one piece of one part of one thing. So what will AI do? How much is science going to change just in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
We don't know. We can't even think about it. And well, let's skip down and then I'll go into my theory that I want to talk about. At the same time, the cost per unit of a given level of intelligence has fallen steeply. 40x per year is a reasonable estimate over the last few years, which is funny to me to see this because just this morning, Andy and I were walking the dogs and I was talking about the biggest thing holding AI back right now is the cost of power or even literally just creating the electricity is one of our biggest challenges, right? And so now what they're saying is the cost of it has already fallen 40x. Good God, man. We can't do that with anything.
Right, yeah.
In 2026, we expect AI to be capable of making very small discoveries. In 2028 and beyond, we are pretty confident we will have systems that can make more significant discoveries, though we could, of course, be wrong. That is what our research progress appears to indicate. I think that's interesting that they're saying small discoveries in 2026. What do you think? If you were going to guess, what do you think, Nadja, is a small discovery? I don't even know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know because I feel like anything related to AI, like the whole, what was that one that we talked about before where they discovered, like a medication? I can't remember what it was. Anyways, I just feel like everything that AI has helped to discover has been huge
Yeah.
to what
I
would
don't
be
know
the
what they mean
definition
by
of small
this.
discoveries. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm really curious to understand what this means because this is one of the parts of this that I just don't know. I just don't think it's really hard being me and interpreting these articles and this data from really smart engineers and stuff, you know?
Mhm.
Um, it just feels so out of scope for my brain
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't.
And I don't say that, by the way, don't message me. I'm not insulting myself. It's just they are engineers. I am not,
You're
you
like, don't
know?
message me.
Yeah. Um, we've long felt that AI progress plays out in surprising ways. No shit. And that society finds ways to co-evolve with the technology. Although we expect rapid and significant progress in AI capabilities in the next few years, we expect that day-to-day life will still feel surprisingly constant. The way we live has a lot of inertia, even with the much better tools. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I feel like that's highly optimistic. Um, and I don't know that I agree with that at
Why?
all. Well, okay. So I'll give you a good example. Here, we'll do it live. We don't even have to do another test. What is the Turing test? Used to, 2 years ago, you Google that and you would see the blue links.
Okay.
Now we see the dictionary up here, and then we see this AI overview. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately, the fact that this is what we see first has changed the
Mm.
lives of everyone here. Everyone. Everyone's lives have been changed for the worst dramatically because of this.
Have you ever tested those AI overviews?
They're great. They're wonderful.
I mean, like, have you ever noticed how it almost falls into a confirmation bias?
Oh, that's
Because
interesting.
depending on how you phrase the question of what you're looking for inside of the search, um, yeah, it'll give you results that lean more towards confirming what you're asking.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's interesting. Um, all I know is that because of this right here, my revenue has dropped 80%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that is a significant, just one simple, significant example. And
Right.
another one, and it's funny because everything is relative, right?
Sure.
Another one, we just looked at SOAR videos.
Mm-hmm.
Literally impossible to have created that 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you had really good video editing skills, you would have had to
Right.
go get the human,
Yeah.
and put them into a green screen environment
Mm-hmm.
and then somehow have them do the thing. It would become acting, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You couldn't just sit at your desk and take some pictures of yourself to put into the Sora system. I mean, it was not even possible. It was not
Right. Yeah.
possible to do a video of a baby doing stand up 3 years ago
Yeah.
without some serious video editing
Doing
skills.
stuff. Sorry. No, I totally get it. It's just
Yeah.
it's just funny. I
So I don't agree with that at all. But of course, what are they going to start off with here? Say, I know we ruined a lot of people's lives, but um, sorry. So anyway, I'll just move on. Um, in particular, we expect the future to provide new and hopeful better ways to live a fulfilling life and for more people to experience such a life than they do today. Well, isn't that nice? Is it true that work will be different? And this is why I wanted to have this call.
mm-hmm.
Is it it is true that work will be different. The economic transition may be very difficult in some ways. Yes. And it is even possible that the fundamental socio-economic contract will have to change. But in a world of widely distributed abundance, people's lives can be much better than they are today. So my friend Marie Haynes sent me
I was
this.
going to say that's a pretty big claim.
It is. And we were talking about it, and she's a highly optimistic person.
Mhm.
And I don't think I sound that way on the podcast, but I think my soul is. But I'm also realistic, you know?
Mhm.
So when she sent this to me and I was like, okay, I've scanned it. What do you think? She was like, what do you think? And we went back and forth. And I said, well, she said, I don't know, but I think whenever, hold on, let me just, instead of trying to guess, let me just go look at her text real quick. Because she worded it really well. Um, well, it's jumping around on me, but essentially, you know, we thought in the turn of the century when suddenly we had trains and cars and all these other things, you know, technology, like a big popular analogy is the lamplighter, right? How we always found other work to do. So sure, people don't light lamps anymore through town, and that's not a job. And we don't take horses, we take cars, you know.
Mhm.
So there's these things over time, you know, farming equipment, right, has
Yeah.
come into play. And I used to think those were really good analogies of we'll figure it out.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
thought that too. But I have really been doing a lot of thinking about this, and I no longer think that's a good analogy. And the reason being is back then, when we had the last major technological change, which was cars and farming equipment, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, People at that time still lived off the land.
Yeah.
So they had farms and they grew their own food and they had ranches and they grew their own meat and they would live in these small communities and they would share amongst each other and they would trade, right?
Mhm.
And that was common 150 years ago, or 100 years ago. But now we all work for our food. It's very uncommon, I should say, I'm sorry, for someone to say, yeah, I grow all of my own food. That is a
Yeah.
very, very, very rare thing.
Right, right.
We all work for our food. So when you say that the socioeconomic contract will have to change, what does that mean? Because our I can only speak for North America, but
Mhm.
the normal North American socioeconomic contract is that we do work, we get money, we take that money, we go to the store, we buy some food. We do work, we get money, we give that money to the bank so that we have a place to live, or
Mhm.
to our renter, or to the apartment complex, right?
Right, right.
So if jobs just suddenly start changing and the socioeconomic contract just is dramatically changing, what does that mean? I love that maybe in time something will just magically be better,
Mhm.
but you can't compare it to when we got electricity. You can't compare it to when we got cars. You
Right.
can't compare it to when farmers suddenly had equipment. It's just not the same time.
Yeah.
So we need to stop saying that. That's my rant. That's why I wanted to come here. What do you think about that?
I mean, I feel like you've said everything that really needs to be said because
Yeah.
it's so much to take in. And you know me, I like to sit with the information
Mm-hmm.
before I say the things.
Yeah, I understand.
But also there are times where, I'll read something or hear something and I have an immediate reaction. This is one of the
So,
things where I'm like, I feel like I need to think about the long term because, again, they make very big claims. There's a lot of phrases that are used in this article that it's very grand. Like everything feels like, oh,
so grand.
this is going to be a breakthrough. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be expansive. So you hear these words, and all you can think is, okay, so these are all great. Like they evoke feelings of like hope and
Sure.
wonder and things like that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I hate to be the person that thinks about these things too. And it's like, but in order to advance this type of technology, you need to have more servers. So if you need more servers, where are they going to be built? And then the places that you build these servers, like what ecosystem are you damaging? And when
Right.
I say ecosystem, I don't just mean, the plants and the animals and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about like the cities,
Yeah.
because there's already the big controversy that, every time, and I think about this every single time I use Chat GPT, I'm just like in my head, I'm thinking, how much water did that use?
That's funny. I've never thought about that. That's a good point.
Because it has to cool the system, right? And
No,
and I
you're
know that's
absolutely
a
right.
really stupid thing to like focus on, but for some reason, that's one of the things that like stuck when I was hearing about the environmental impact of the
Yeah.
progress of AI.
Yeah. That's a really important point. Mhm.
I mean, just this morning I was reading an article how the I think it's Google. Google has gone into talks with the Australian government about building building AI farms or something like that on Christmas Island. And
Okay.
Christmas Island is a small island it's protected because it is well known for the crab migration, the red crab migration. So basically, like on that island, whenever the crab migration occurs, like everything stops. Like they block off the roads so that the
Oh,
crabs can migrate from their breeding grounds back into the ocean. So
yeah.
it's very protected. But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, Google is in negotiations with the Australian government to build servers on Christmas Island. And part of it is because um, they're talking about how it is the front line for like military defense. Like the
Oh.
location of Christmas Island is ideal as the front line for defending Australia.
Ah.
And so in my head, I'm just like, okay, but why? Why is a US company going to build something on an Australian island that is related to AI, but it's supposed to be regarding defense, like military defense? And, like just, I'm trying to piece it together because in my head, it doesn't make sense.
It probably doesn't make sense. I'm sure the motivation is nefarious
That's what it feels
because,
like, right?
well, I mean, if most business motivations are nefarious
Yeah,
by nature. And I don't mean that as like I'm not an anti-capitalist and I'm not an anti-business. That's why we have to balance these things out because a business has an obligation to make profit for its shareholders.
right.
And it doesn't have an obligation to the planet. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's the thing that, makes me go, what?
Yeah.
Did that have anything to do with what you had said? Or did I just
Um,
like focus in on a very specific thing and then I was like, I'm gonna go with this.
I don't know, but I think it was interesting regardless.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Sorry. I have a tendency to do that. So
that's okay. That's
I'm
why we're
like, you
here.
should know this by now.
Yes. Yes, we've done plenty together to know.
Yep.
So, okay, let's keep reading. Unless you got anything else?
No, keep going.
Okay. AI systems will help people understand their health, accelerate progress in fields like materials science, drug development, and climate modeling. and expand access to personalized education for students around the world. Wow. First of all, that's a lot of commas. It's a really big statement. And I think the one that I find the most interesting and I think altering of this sentence, because this is the world's longest sentence, not really, but in this sentence to me is personalized education for students around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we're talking education is changing. It's going to change in such a big way. And the weird thing to me about that, the thing that I think about a lot, my buddy is on the school board, and the best way to get him worked up, I say this to him every once in a while, just to watch him just spin out, is that I say that schools are daycares.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, gets him all worked up. It
I was
just
gonna say
sends him.
that gets me worked up too.
Yeah, but it's also true.
Well, yeah, that's how most people honestly use it. I mean, I am guilty of the same thing. When I was working in corporate healthcare, I couldn't wait until my kids were old enough to attend school because then that meant I didn't have to pay for daycare anymore.
Right.
And they would be in school for essentially the same amount of time I would be in an office.
That's right. And it's not even as negative as I make it sound. It's how society functions. If
Mm-hmm.
you want people to have children, which we do, so that our nation continues forward, then you also want people to work and make money so that they can provide things for that said
Right.
child. And daycare is expensive. And even if at a certain age they were in daycare, they need to be learning because we want our
Mhm.
children to be educated. So
Right.
then we go from either home to school or daycare to school.
Right.
And if the kid can't be in school, you know what the parent can't do?
Work.
Work. And you can't put a sick kid in daycare.
Right.
So school is daycare.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
So if suddenly every kid can just somehow use AI to personalize education and maybe every kid becomes homeschooled, how are you going to get to work?
Yeah.
So I think that this is life altering in multiple ways. One, what does this mean for teachers? What does this mean for students? What does this mean for parents who have jobs?
Right.
Um, I mean, I'm just talking practical shit here.
Man, I
So
don't like the idea of AI being used as the primary educational avenue.
you know what I like about it? I
What's that?
tend to agree with you, except in the following areas. Um, One, all the exceptions. So, like I was an exception. I had childhood migraines. Sometimes more than twice a week, I missed school because of a
Yeah.
migraine when I was a kid. I had them my entire childhood and teenage years. Um, so AI would have been so useful to me because I could have used it to catch up, to
Hmm.
self-educate, to educate based around the migraines.
Yeah. Yeah.
A kid who is ahead of their class and getting bored and therefore acting out, AI could help them accelerate or
Sure.
learn additional things. The kid who is running slower than the rest of the class, AI could help them learn at their own pace. I don't
Hmm.
know, man. I just see so many uses for it.
No,
It
I
could
I
be so good.
totally yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm speaking more specifically about the fact that the internet is so unregulated right now. Like, how do you vet what information is valid and
I think
what
that's the real
is
question. Yeah.
somebody's, tinfoil hat theories about X, Y, and Z, but AI can't tell the difference between what is a legitimate, I don't know, peer reviewed, some sort of higher education, um, backed whatever. Like
Maybe,
that's the part that gets me because I'm like, because even
yeah.
now, like when I use Chat GPT, I'm constantly like, cite your sources. Where did you find
Me
this
too. Me
information?
too. Yeah.
And then after I ask it, where did you find this information? I don't click on the links that it gives me. Like now I go and open a new tab or a new browser or whatever, and then I go looking for it. But the fact that I have to even do that
Yeah.
with a tool that's supposed to make things more efficient and smooth, and granted, yes, I will say it is still saving me time because all I'm doing is double checking as opposed
Yes.
to like
Doing your initial
baseline
research.
blank research from nothing, you know?
Yeah.
And I get
I
it. Like I
I agree.
understand, but I just there's so much, I don't know. I don't want to call it mistrust because that's not what it is, but there's so much cynicism that I
I think
have.
cynicism's a good word.
Right. Like, yeah. So anything that I read, it's always with an edge of cynicism
Well, maybe
and
it'll still
doubt.
come down to school districts because maybe
Yeah.
it'll be like, hey, these are our books. This
Mm-hmm.
is our lesson plan.
Yeah. Yep.
And these are our extracurriculars. This is our rules. And it will force AI to stay in that confine.
Mm-hmm. And then,
Um,
but then you have and I know I'm walking into very muddy and delicate waters here, but then you have school districts that are on the other end of the extreme where, they're trying to push their own agenda.
sure. Yeah. I think that's the problem. But maybe, I haven't really thought this deeply on this, but also let me just say in that concept, I've never thought about this before, but in this concept of what we're discussing here, maybe they also are allowed to take in all of the library books in that school.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so
Okay.
that is, they're only allowed to talk about those things that are defined by that district. But in this concept, maybe you could easily switch if you're, let's say you have an ultra conservative district, but
Mm-hmm.
you are a liberal parent,
Mm-hmm.
um, you could move your kid to a liberal learning district virtually.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yep.
maybe that you have teachers and guardrails and schools and buildings and all those things that are still exist,
Mm-hmm.
but that the teacher is there to oversee and to guide for any questions or concerns. But each kid is learning from the district the parents prefer.
Okay.
I don't
I
know.
mean, sure.
It's weird to think about.
Yeah, it is really weird to think about, and all of this concerns me just because it does affect me directly since I have
Yes.
school-age children.
Yes.
And not just that, but just with all the misinformation that's going on currently, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm just like, I don't trust anything.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know how good of an idea this is. I don't know how progressive it is when things are changing so fast and there are no guardrails.
yeah,
Because
I
this is
agree.
legitimately like this is the perfect example of jumping off the cliff and building the plane as you fall. Like that's
Yes.
exactly what we're doing when it comes to AI.
We absolutely are. And I don't know about you, but I can't think of another example of that in my lifetime.
I can't
Yeah.
either. Because everything, yeah, every other technological progression or advancement has always been okay, well, we're going to small scale test it. This works great. Let's move on to the next thing. Or it's always like a trickle. I feel
And
like AI is not, it has not trickled.
I know that we try to stay away from politics, and I'm only bringing this up because it's relevant. But didn't this year, weren't they trying to, and I don't know the results of this, to do a bill where states could not put any rules on AI for like the next 10 years or something, and it would all be federal run?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, because they wanted to open up competitiveness because we're trying to compete with China. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I should look that up. But okay, let's
Yeah.
get to the second sentence of this paragraph.
Okay.
Uh, Demonstrating these kinds of tangible benefits helps build a shared vision of a world where AI can make life better, not just more efficient. So, as a reminder, these tangible benefits were um, advancements in material science, drug development, climate modeling, personalized education for students. So, demonstrating those kind of tangible benefits will help build a shared vision of a world where AI can make life better, not just more efficient. And I think that not just more efficient is really important
Yeah.
because businesses are focused on the efficient part,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of us are like, well, what does that do for us?
Right.
So then we get into some stuff about safety, and I'm going to call that the blah, 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 unless you want to talk about it.
Nope. Let's continue because you
Okay.
know how I feel about safety and security when it comes to AI right now.
Yeah.
Again, there's a level of cynicism. So,
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the reason that I'm blah, blah, blah is because I don't feel like they're the people to look at for safety.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are two schools of thought about AI. One is that AI is like normal technology and that it will progress like other technological revolutions in the past, from the printing press to the internet. Things will play out in ways that give people and society a chance to adapt, not even slightly. And conventional tools of public policy should work. That's one way of thinking about it. We will
Sure.
need to prioritize these ideas, like promoting innovation, protecting the privacy of conversations with AI, and defending against misuse of powerful systems by bad actors, by
Mm.
partnering with the federal government. Okay, cool. Um, we believe AI at around today's capability levels is roughly here and should diffuse everywhere, which means most developers and open source models and almost all deployments of today's technologies should have the minimal additional regulatory burdens relative to what already exist. It should not have to face a 50-state patchwork, which is what I just brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel tired. Let's see. More security, more security. Understanding how AI is concretely impacting the world makes it easier to steer this technology towards positive impact. Prediction is hard. For example, the impact of AI on jobs has been hard to anticipate, in part because today's AI strengths and weaknesses are very different from those of humans. Measuring what happens in practice is likely to be very informative. In other words, we don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that adults should be able to use AI on their own terms within broad bounds defined by society. What does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that even mean? You know, it reminds me of the whole like, oh, well, we can regulate the industry ourselves. How many
Yeah.
times has that worked? Like the self-regulation. I'm just saying.
So that's the article. Nothing to see here. Um,
Yeah, this is I have more questions than I do
yeah.
responses right now. Well, I guess that is my response is I have more questions. I don't even know what the questions are, but I know that I have questions.
So I just Googled how many layoffs due to AI. Let me bring this over here into this window. Okay. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, Over 150,000 US jobs cuts were announced with AI cited as the primary driver alongside cutting. Um, Year to date, 1.1 million jobs cut. By the way, I'm using an AI overview, which I think is interesting.
Okay, wait, go back up. So how many layoffs due to AI? That's a pretty unbiased question, right?
Sure.
So go all the way back up. Mm, okay. So that it sounds like a pretty unbiased response. Well, I just Googled, has AI affected the job market positively?
Oh, and
And it said, yes, AI has affected the job market positively by boosting productivity, creating new job roles, and transforming existing ones to be more efficient. Although it has also led to job displacement in some sectors, the overall impact is nuanced, with some studies showing a net gain in jobs created versus those lost, especially for workers who can adapt to use AI as a tool. But again,
well,
this is a great example of that. Uh, what is it? The cognitive bias
confirmation bias.
the
Yeah.
confirmation bias that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Because if I ask, has it affected the job market negatively? Yes, AI has negatively affected the job market in some areas. See, both of them
How
said
is
yes.
AI impacting the job market? Okay, here it says it's having a dual impact, automating some routine tasks while simultaneously creating new jobs and enhancing existing ones.
But do you see why I don't trust the AI overview at the surface level? Only because I know that the response is going to be more aligned with whatever it
Yes.
thinks the answer I'm looking for is.
Well, you're absolutely right because this is one of my big takeaways from using AI is that the question is everything.
The question is everything. The way you word it, yeah.
Yeah, the question is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know that Amazon announced that they're expecting them to lay off what, 600,000 people, and they
Yeah.
said directly because of AI.
Mm-hmm.
They were very upfront about it.
Right.
Um, I just think, to me, the part of this that is the most that we need to discuss the most is what does it look like and what is the timing?
Yeah.
So in 2026, we expect AI to be capable of making very small discoveries, but in 2028 and beyond, that'll be more significant. That is the most vague ass statement, by the way. Um, it's gonna do some small things, and then it's gonna do some big things.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, I mean, and it's gonna make life so much better.
Is
But
it?
and that may be true. I think in the long run, that may actually be true. But in the short run, I think we're in trouble
Yeah.
as a society. I think that and I think that people might be thinking, oh, it's overhyped but we're always thinking about LLMs. We're not thinking about the fact that they're building it's stupid right now, but they're building a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
They're not very good, but neither was video 3 years ago.
Oh, no, the most recent thing that I saw regarding building robots was basically it looked like a person in a robot suit
Oh, I know which one. I just watched that video.
with
Yeah.
boobs. They gave it boobs.
Oh, okay, that's a different one. No, I
Yep.
didn't even see that one. Okay.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you because it made me laugh because I'm like, oh, well, just like everything else, uh, they've they've created something that they can have sex with.
Well, I'm confident this very last statement here about we believe that adults should be able to use AI on their own terms. I'm confident that's about porn.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always about it.
Within broad bounds defined by society.
Yeah.
So, um, I think we also know what that means. So,
Oh my gosh, how crazy that I just said that and then I opened Reddit and the very first thing is the robot that I was talking about.
oh, really?
Yep. Like
That's
it's different footage, but like doesn't that look like a person in a robot suit?
yes, yes, yes.
But what they're doing is they're removing the leg cover to show that it is not a person in a robot suit.
Oh, well, aren't they kind to let us know that it's not a person?
Yeah, look. See, they're cutting into it. I'll share the link. But it's so interesting because again, it's Westworld level almost, right? But like you watch this and then it almost feels like you're watching a magic trick, or at least that's how it feels to me. You know, where I'm like, okay, what's the illusion? Like what's the trick? Where's the trick? Where's the sleight of hand that I'm missing? You know, like that's how I look at these things.
I agree. I agree. I do too. It's exactly the same. I think a lot of people are in awe, but I think that they're all still just being controlled by people to anyway. Um, I think the whole point of this article, by the way, the takeaway that everybody should take away is not actually all the things I ranted about.
Mm-hmm.
It is about this. This is a political article about the fact that they don't want states to regulate AI. They want it to be regulated by the federal government, which means no regulation at this current time with this current federal government. Which is why if you ever see a White House dinner, you always see Sam Altman there, right? He is attending all these, as many things with Trump as he possibly can because Trump is our current president. And he wants as little regulation on AI as possible. And there's states that want to regulate it. And I get it. It's just like with cars, right? California has different regulations than other states, but California is the biggest state with the most cars. And so therefore manufacturers need to follow the California guidelines, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that the point of this particular article, I just opened this up for people. The point of this particular article is really about that regulation.
Yeah. But look, yeah, see, look at that robot. It's a female. Why did they have to give her boobs? Or why did they have to give it breasts and a butt? It's actually got quite a nice badonkadonk. It's
That's
very
funny.
shapely and perky.
Yeah. And now they're going to undress it.
Well, just the leg.
Yeah.
It takes a minute. Like you can fast forward a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looks like
See.
it has a cast on.
Right? But that's just the mesh molding
Oh, okay, I see.
to give it the
Yeah.
leg shape. Okay,
Gotcha.
watch it. Hang on, watch it walk. You see how the hips
It's all
shake
sexy,
too?
sexy.
Yeah. And then look, see, it's got a perky
I
little
see.
butt there.
That's weird.
Why is it female? Why can't it be androgynous?
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it. That's
Right?
weird. Don't like
Again,
it.
it just goes back to what I said before. Because eventually they're going to have sex with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
I
do
know there's
not
some
condone.
innocent ears listening, but let's
Yeah.
just be so for real.
Yeah. So that was our emergency podcast.
It's our breaking news podcast.
Oh, breaking news podcast. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we called it an emergency live, but
Yeah.
I just feel like everything is breaking news. Every 5 minutes, it's breaking news. So
I agree. I
but I'm
agree.
just making fun of it.
Yeah, that's true. And listen, as far as my takeaway, which is that this is a political article, I don't feel that I have enough understanding to have a feeling if it should be regulated by the federal government or regulated by the state. That is so far out of my purview. I just don't know. But I do think that was the point. That's my takeaway.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
they're like, listen, it's going to be good. Everything's going to be wonderful. Things are going to stay mostly the same. Yeah, things are actually going to get better. Okay, so don't worry about regulating us. Thank you. That's my takeaway.
Yep.
Plus, they're committed to safety, Nadja.
Oh, yes, of course they're committed to safety. Of course.
Yeah. I mean, some surprising things might happen.
Mm-hmm.
And society is going to co-evolve with technology. I don't know what that means, but it's wonderful. It's amazing what is really, the more I read this, the more I'm just like, wow. Because hopefully there'll be better ways to live a fulfilling life. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
We all hope for that.
Yeah.
With or without AI, we
Yeah.
hope for that. So it's true that work will be different, Nadja.
I know.
It's true.
Let's see what the future holds.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I am so cynical. I'm sorry. Like
I am too. I mean, I love AI. I'm having a blast with it. I'm making some really fun things. And making some really, really useful things.
Yeah.
But the overall impact, I'm very cynical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only cynical from the financial perspective, honestly, for the most part. I'm just really, really cynical on what it's going to do to our economy.
Yeah.
I think that I think that being able to develop better drugs and
for sure.
yeah,
Medical
that to me is
advancements, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And honestly, even just the whole, making work more efficient, so less time consuming for the person. So that way they have more bandwidth and they have more space to be able to do more creative things, like maybe not even just creative things, but actually rediscover like hobbies, things that they enjoy doing.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with working a lot if you're
Yeah.
working on something that makes you really happy.
Right.
Or you're passionate about.
Exactly.
You know? And so if people could spend their time working on their passion
Mm-hmm.
instead of something that makes them want to stab their eyeballs, that would be wonderful, Or if they don't want to work at all, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this on our prep call for the episode that we didn't do today, but my car texted me that it needed an oil change, and when I ignored that, it sent me a message to my watch.
Insane to me.
Yeah.
That your car is texting you about what maintenance it needs, and
Yeah.
then your bed is emailing you telling you that it needs
water.
It needs water so that it can
Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, it's got some cool shit going on with this AI stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see.
Well, any closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts are I'm going to have a lot more thoughts after I am able to process what we have just talked about, and maybe there'll be a part 2 of this, or maybe it'll just be the little shorts that you and I will send back and forth to each other with our snippet thoughts.
Yes. I think that this could be a good use case for our snippets.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's definitely going to be a situation where once I have the brain space to actually process and think about it, I'm gonna have words. So instead of me angrily texting you, or not angrily, but passionately,
yeah,
texting my thoughts, then
feverishly.
But yeah, then I'll do a little, I'll record a little short and send it to you, or post it on YouTube and or TikTok and tag you.
Yeah, and Facebook. Yeah.
At Facebook. Yeah.
Or you can send them to me and I'll post them on YouTube and Facebook if you want, because I know you prefer to stay off Facebook.
I do prefer to stay off of Facebook.
Yeah,
I've
I can
I've
do that.
been going back every now and then just because there was a flurry of notifications that I had received recently,
Yeah,
and which was so much fun, by the way. Thank you
yeah.
again for bringing. Shout out Amanda Bond.
Shout out Amanda Bond.
But yeah, overall, yeah, I prefer to continue staying off of Facebook because it makes me angry. Facebook makes me so
Yeah,
mad.
it makes me angry because I'm really bad at it. But
How are you bad at Facebook?
well, I've been trying to like get Cooking Choose Facebook to be more active and
Okay, okay.
engaging, and I just can't write anything that people care about. Yeah,
You got to be more controversial to
I
go
guess
viral.
so. Well, I always say I'm your most boring friend, and it proves out on Facebook.
I only want boring friends.
Yeah. Well, then that's good because you're stuck with me. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh goodness.
I'm starving, as
Oh
always.
yeah, me too. And my dog is now going crazy because she has seen somebody walking on the sidewalk past our house. So,
Our doorbell keeps going off at like 4 a.m. every night. We've been trying to
oh,
make it turn off so it will stop waking us up, but it's
yeah.
been a raccoon and a cat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you know who doesn't care? Our dogs, because they're in a crate where apparently nothing matters. So
Well, that's their safe space.
that's right. Yeah.
No, I'm comfy. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
All righty.
All
Well,
right. Bye,
thanks for
guys.
this conversation and
Yeah.
for giving me new food for thought.
Yes. And now let's go get food.
Let's go get food. Thanks, everyone.